All right, guys, let's talk about how to actually close new clients, plus the exact phone and email templates that I use to get new business. And for those of us out there that don't like calling people on the phone, like me, I created this phone template to really kind of simulate as much as possible exactly how this conversations are mainly going to go, because the differential between signing new business, especially quickly, on the phone versus email, especially with local businesses who are much more kind of used to doing business on the phone, is night and day, right? Using the phone is going to get you more success and more clients and more profit, much faster and much more significantly. A higher significantly close rate than email will. So phone is so important, and I know most people don't like doing it, and I don't like doing it either, but I promise I put a lot of time and energy into this phone template. And we also are going to have a real live simulation where I'm going to get one of my assistants to actually call a local business and close them, hopefully, on the phone. And she doesn't have any experience with this whatsoever, and she's going to do it completely from scratch using this template, more or less just to prove to you guys that it is possible. And we're going to show all of the cuts, whether she got denied or whether she actually was able to sign that business. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really good. But for this one, we're going to talk about how to close new clients, and we're going to show the actual templates themselves. So if you're thinking to yourself, where do I find people's email addresses? Where do I find phone numbers of these local businesses? Like, how are you finding, dentists, for example? And for the next few kind of topics, we're just going to use dentist as an example, but it could be, physical therapist. It could be chiropractor. It could be doctor. It could be, a CrossFit gym. It could be anything. It's just, I'm not going to say that every single time. So I'm just going to use dentist as our examples, but it literally could be anything. So don't think that like we were going to only target dentists all over the world, and literally just ninjas are going to take over all dentistry. So how we're going to do this, guys, is we're going to actually think logically, right? So if we're an agency owner, we have to get creative with how we actually are targeting these businesses and how we're finding their contact information. And it's not as hard as you think. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to find, or I lived in Las Vegas and I wanted to start my Facebook ad agency in Las Vegas. So in the example that we're going to use for the next few lessons, we're just going to use a dentist. So what would I do? I would use, handy dandy Google and type in Las Vegas dentist. I know that's, very complicated, but that's just kind of how it works, right? And so the people who are showing ads here, guys, what does that tell us? What do we know about the ease of signing new clients versus people who are not used to spending dollars on ads, right? It's easier to move money than it is to create new money. So people who are actually spending ads here on Google search, we know are already advertising some, which means that they might be significantly more willing to actually start advertising on Facebook. Just because they're advertising on Google does not mean that they're advertising on Facebook. They could totally be missing out on a huge avenue, and it's definitely worth reaching out. But these are fantastic, right? So I'm going to open these 3 ads because we know that they're already at least somewhat comfortable with online marketing. So what we see here is cosmetic dentistry in Las Vegas. Here's the number literally right here. I bet if there's like a contact, wow, this website is comically designed. There's a contact us page here with nothing on it. Yeah, so there's a contact page with nothing on it here. They do have testimonials though. Okay. Read where am I supposed to read what some of your patients said? There's literally nothing here. Yeah, so they tried to make a website. It's just a little bit antiquated. So what we see here is Stacy. She's probably the one who's going to be answering the phones, right? And so the more we know about people without being creepy, being like, "Hi, Stacy from Minnesota. You've been assisting us for 6 years. How's your new baby boy?" Right? We're not going to be that egregious, but understanding their names and knowing the names of like the dentist, for example, could be advantageous. Just to be kind of aware of who kind of the practice owners are and things like that. And so, this is the number that I would call Dr. Kruyer. We can see right here. Here he is, or here she is. Excuse me. We can see where she's from. She graduated cum laude from Marquette, right? And so, it's okay to like do your homework and say like, hey, like I read about you on your website. Like I know you went to Marquette. Maybe like say something about like their sports teams, or if you know anything about Marquette, right? Just like, it's like any other business. You want to make it personal without like being like over the top and crazy and like, super creepy. But here you go. There's a lot of information here, and I would call, and then I would set up and use the template that we're about to go over in a second. Here's another one. So here's the phone number, right? Contact us. Let's see if this actually exists. And you could even say that like you'd be happy to like introduce this, just like as a last point, you'd be happy to introduce them to like a web designer, because their contact us page is literally Las Vegas, Nevada dentist, which is funny. I mean, I shouldn't be laughing, but you can help them, because if you're in this course, you're obviously committed to technology and learning new things, and maybe you could help them with their website because it needs some serious help. And that's an interesting. Okay, so here is the next people. So we have testimonials. Sweet. Or do we? Yeah, we do. So they literally have, oh my gosh, this is perfect, right? They already have some videos here. This is great. And they have some word of mouth, testimonial page. Oh man, we could pull this all directly onto a funnel. This is great. So this is a very technologically savvy company. So I'd be curious to see if they actually have, where is this? Okay, here we go. Admin at Dentist Las Vegas. We can call or email, I guess, but just I know calling people on the phone sucks, but it doesn't suck that bad. It doesn't suck bad enough to work at a 9 to 5. It doesn't suck bad enough to work, for someone else in like a dark, dingy conference room, having a bunch of pointless meetings and doing things that you don't want to do, and getting up and having to go through a commute and all of that. It doesn't suck worse than that, trust me. Okay, so this is what. Okay, here we go. So Facebook, we can find their Facebook information. See if they've done any. Yes, they have 600 likes. They have a video cover photo, right? They have some reviews here. I mean, their image doesn't actually line up, which is interesting. Oh, but they actually have they have a messenger bot. So these guys are incredibly technically savvy. So maybe somebody already got to them and set this all up for them. I guarantee that the dentist didn't set this up, but they might be so technologically savvy that they already have a Facebook advertiser. I'm not sure, but I would definitely call and nonetheless, and offer them my services and tell them how we could improve. Okay, so here's another one. Wagner Dental. This is a great photo for a Facebook ad. A bunch of like reasonably attractive smiling people. Advanced technology with a gentle touch. Gentle Dental. Oh, they have a blog. That's interesting. Reviews about us. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, so these are great. These are fantastic. And here we see obviously the number. They also have their Facebook information here. Let's check it out. All right, closer to 1,000 with some reviews here. Call now. This is great. They have their call to action set up, right? So these guys understand at least at a basic level what they're doing, but we can make the assumption that they do because they're advertising on Google. When we see people advertising on Google, we know for a fact that they're much more technologically savvy, or they know how to find people who are, which means that they're comfortable in that realm, which means one of two things. It means they're already advertising on Facebook, and which means that maybe they want to change and they want somebody who could be better, which means that they're already advertising on Google, which means that they're open to the idea of advertising on Facebook. And if they're profitably advertising on Google, then they're open to the idea of Facebook being profitable as well. Or it means that they're already happy with all of their advertisements, and you move on. And the worst case scenario is they say no thanks, and that's it. Right, and so it's all positive when you see people on Facebook. And so those are kind of the three that we saw on Facebook. But if we look here, we see the top 10 dentists in Las Vegas. Right, so we can do it like this, or we can just there's literally so many here, guys. Don't ever tell me that you can't find businesses in your city. Right, so here we go again. So ads on Yelp, right? Advertising on Yelp means that they're comfortable spending money on advertisements on the internet, but they don't necessarily have a presence on Facebook, right? And another way that we can tell here, let's actually open those websites back up for a second. So here's Dentist Las Vegas. So do they have a Facebook pixel? They do not have a Facebook pixel, right? So, but Wagner Dental does have a Facebook pixel. And these guys do not, right? And so in a little bit, we're going to talk about some really, really good ways to kind of spice up some business and, make the initial approach. So don't worry about this. We're going to give you such good ways to open the conversation, which is the hardest part. But just knowing whether or not they have a Facebook pixel is a fun little ninja tactic that we've used to just sign so much business. It's ridiculous, right? You guys see me getting excited because it's just so easy. It's just hard getting started. Getting your first client is the hardest part by far. Once you get your first client, it's seriously so much easier, guys. So just kill yourself till you get that first client. And then after you get that first client, then you're going to thank me so much and you're going to see just how amazing this opportunity is. So here's a ton more people, right? I would definitely contact these 3 that are advertising, because generally I've found that people who are advertising on Yelp get unbelievably more profitable and immediate results using the same ad spend that they were using on Yelp on Facebook, right? So that's a great way to kind of lead things off. So that is how I would find new clients, right? So let's go over the phone template and the email template, starting with the phone template. So the phone template is super, super important. Like I said, you're going to close way more people on the phone, especially if you're like reasonably good at speaking. Like obviously not like me because I can't speak at all. But just be comfortable with yourself. You're a Facebook advertising expert if you've gotten to this point in the course, and if you watch the course again, you're going to be even better, right? So we're going to use the dentist as an example just to stay true to ourselves here. So we might open by saying, hey, my name's Kevin. I'm the lead Facebook ads marketer with That Lifestyle Ninja digital advertising company. I was hoping I might be able to get you guys some new paying customers completely for free with absolutely no catch, right? And you don't want to read it off like necessarily as a template, because people who are like obviously reading a template just sound ridiculous on the phone. So you want to make sure that you aren't going word for word here. Just kind of get the gist of it. Practice with your spouse. Call your mom and pretend she's a dentist, right? The more you practice, the better you're going to get and the more comfortable you're going to get with this stuff. This template is generally just kind of to get you in the mindset of how this is going to go. So you're probably going to get a receptionist and they're not going to know how to respond because they're just used to people like scheduling appointments or like calling to like do dentist stuff. But they're probably going to respond something like, wow, like I've never heard of anything like that before. Like I'm just the receptionist. And you say, okay, that's no problem at all. I totally understand, right? The name of the dentist, whatever his name is, it'll say on the website, like Dr. Wagner is busy. Just to give some quick background, we're actually currently running ads for multiple practices similar to yours in Las Vegas. And we were able to get them like super significant profitable new business in under a month. I'd love to have just 5 minutes of Dr. Wagner's time to discuss. And again, this is a complete win-win situation for you guys. We're more than happy to pay for some initial ads ourselves, literally just to prove to you guys that this works. And before we do any type of business together at all, before you pay anything, and just say we always like to show our clients results before we actually become partners. And they'll probably respond something like, you're probably still going to be talking to the receptionist, but she'll probably say, wow, that sounds awesome. Yeah, let me get your information to pass it on, and he'll give you a call back. Right? And you can say, awesome, sounds good. You can reach me on my personal cell phone. I always work directly with my clients. We're run locally here in Las Vegas, and he would be working directly with me. My phone number is, whatever. Look forward to chatting. Take care, right? And I like to keep a record, guys, because, this gets complicated if you're calling, like me, when I first started this, I was calling like 50 businesses a day, and most people get like discouraged if they call one, but it's like, I get happy if somebody says no to me because that means I can move on to the next person. But that's just me being a freak. But I mean, the more you're like that and the more that, you just have absolutely no even thought in the back of your mind of giving up, the easier and faster you're going to be successful because this just does work. And so what I do, guys, is I just keep like a Google Drive document, of like my leads. And so I'll just keep a Google Drive and I'll say like Dr. Wagner, address, called on, 5 May 15th at 6 p.m., spoke to receptionist name, like Chelsea or whatever her name was, they said they'd call me back by tomorrow, right? And so, because what'll happen is people won't necessarily always call you back when they say they will, because dentists are busy. They have their own family. They have a ton of stuff going on. They have their, patients and stuff like that. And so you're gonna have to follow up with a lot of these people and say like, hey, like I talked to Chelsea last week. I was just following up, just making sure that seeing if you guys were still interested. Like completely no worries if you're not, but I just know that things happen and people get busy, and I just wanted to follow up because I just know how much value that I can add for you guys, right? And so that is the phone template, guys. Again, don't read it, but just get a general idea of it. And it's meant kind of just to show you how these conversations generally tend to go. And you're going to be surprised, right? Some people are going to say no, but that's a good thing because it means that you can try the next person, right? Give it your all, be passionate, be energetic, really understand and know the value that you can provide these people up front. Like when you're trying to sell yourself, it's so much easier knowing that you can make them more money, right? Because you're not selling anything. You're like, hey, let me make you an extra $10,000. It's like, if they understood that that was the truth, it'd be so much easier for us, right? But that is the truth if you're doing Facebook ads correctly, right? It's just so much money to be made. You just have to know what you're doing. And these businesses don't, and we do, and we're the connection, right? So let's talk about the email template. So I would say like, hey, name, I'm Kevin. I'm a huge fan of like your dentistry business. I especially liked your recent, event activity promotion. Basically, the point of this is just to make it personal, right? If they don't have any like type of online presence or web presence or blog or any like thing that you can like say that they've done recently, then just take it out. Just say like, hey, like I've heard like great things about your business, right? I work with numerous local companies, competitors. You want to just name other competitors kind of in Las Vegas, other dentists in this specific example, right? This is kind of the fake it till you make it. Nobody wants to be the first client, but if you kind of, portray yourself like you've had other clients before, right? Especially if you're offering to do this completely for free, it's kind of okay. It's okay to, really establish yourself that you're you have a few other clients, you've done this before, just so people feel more comfortable, right? If you're charging them a bunch up front, then you'd want to be completely honest. But if you're doing it completely for free, let your results speak for themselves, right? So it's a little bit of fake it till you make it, but that's okay. So I work with numerous local companies like, other dentists in Las Vegas, running Facebook ads for them, and have gotten incredible results, generating very profitable new leads and paying customers for cheap. I just wanted to email you to see if you currently had a digital marketing team or if you might be interested in my agency setting you up a completely free marketing campaign to see if we could bring in some new business for you. I'm sure you recognize business is changing with over 2 billion active users, yes with a B, averaging 40 plus minutes per day on Facebook. Your highly profitable customers are there, and we know how to find them for much cheaper than you think. Right? I made a demo of what an ad we might run for your business might look like. Insert image here. If this is something you might be interested in, please let me know by responding to this email or giving me a call on my personal cell phone. I work with all my clients. No big faceless corporate stuff here. And so what I like to do is generate an actual funnel or example ad. And I've actually created both for you guys, which we're going to talk about later on. I just wanted to show you this little template here. So if you want to see the actual funnel itself, it's down here. It looks like this, and you can actually just click right here to get your completely free pre-built funnel that you can use, and all you have to do is change out the background, which we're going to talk about later on. And you can also click here to get access to completely free, totally ready to go ads for dentists, doctors, and real estate agents. I made 3 that you can use, and I also included the Photoshop templates, so you or a $5 an hour person on Fiverr can just update them. So I really wanted to include everything you could possibly need, guys. So I hope you recognize that I'm really trying as hard as I can to give you everything you need to be successful for this. And so this is the email. It's a little bit more important to be able to show them something. And if you want to, and you want to be like a go-getter and an overachiever, you can do the same thing on the phone, right? People like tangible stuff. If you create a website for them, and I'll show you exactly how easy it is to do that so quickly, guys. If you literally send them an email with a website with their photos and their, the name of their business, they're going to be so impressed, and they're going to, let you guys run their Facebook ads for them. I promise you guys that, if you find the right people and you don't give up. And we're going to talk about exactly how to do that with our client generation strategies. And it's super exciting. I hope you guys are excited because it's such an amazing thing. We figured out so many little hacks for you guys. Sorry, I get a little overexcited sometimes. And so that is how to close clients, my exact phone and email templates that I use to get business, from start to finish. And we're going to include everything that you guys need to absolutely open the conversation, impress the heck out of these clients, and most importantly, sign them on as new clients and get those monthly retainers to really start creating a hugely scalable 100% profit pretty much business, right? And obviously, guys, the last thing that I'm going to say here, depending on the business you're marketing to, kind of the underlying ideas are the same. Make it personal, discuss their business, recent activities, anything you can like that. Show your reputability and experience in similar marketing. And then we're going to talk about exactly how to actually offer a completely risk-free kind of experience to them, just to kind of get things going, to open the relationship. Because the hardest part, guys, is the first client. After that, it's so much easier. And we are going to show you exactly how to sign that first client. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and let's get to the next.